Nia Long, has been in a relationship with Boston Celtics head coach uh, M.A. Udoka, M.A. Udoka for the last 10 years. Um, they've both been in the news the last couple of days because Ime got caught up in a workplace romance, uh, apparently cheating on Nia. They have a 10-year-old child together. So she's more than just a girlfriend or a fiance. She's a real live baby mama. Um, and so Ime had been in a protracted relationship with a currently unnamed staffer within the Boston Celtics, rumored to be a woman who is married to a high ranking executive within the organization. How it kind of came out, again, this is all alleged. How it all came out was that the Boston Celtics suspended Ime for the rest of the season, right, for the entire season, and released a statement, did a press conference or whatever, saying that he had been suspended as a result of an investigation into a consensual relationship between him and another adult employee of the organization. They did not name who the other person was, nor did they speak on uh, any uh, uh, discipline that had been meted out to the other party. They did say that it was consensual. Uh, the internet went on fire. Of course, the sisterhood bought into the whole, nigga, you would cheat on Nia Long, like for real. And, I wasn't on that, but in terms of thinking of Nia Long, um, in terms of her attractiveness and her sexual marketplace value, for lack of a better word, uh, it's pretty high. I mean, in terms of the way that we look at things and the way that we value um, women in the society, especially sisters. I mean, black men have learned to respect and acknowledge a black woman's achievements in whatever field, right? And your individual accomplishments and your ability to kind of maintain, yourself and strive in, whatever your life's journey is without, having to rely upon the assistance of a man. And Nia most definitely has done that. On top of that, she's very beautiful. And I don't know her, but just watching interviews and the way that she kind of carries herself, you would think that she would be a cool chick for a nigga to fuck with. All of those things put on paper sound great, right? And you would say any man would be lucky, especially a cat like me, would be lucky to have a Nia Long in his life, and woe be the fool who would fuck that off. But I think that what has been a staple in some of the conversations that we've had on this particular channel is uh, a man who is particularly desirable to a woman who can hold her own, a woman who's about her own life, self-improvement, self-actualization, and really reach the pinnacle of wherever it is that she desires to be, whether that's, a woman with a doctorate or master's degree or something in a particular field, woman who is accomplished, um, you know, a level of success that most men don't accomplish in a particular field, or a woman that, is able to kind of pay her way through life on her own. We have been trained to regard those things as the pinnacle characteristics of how to determine whether um, a woman should be exalted. But in the real world, one of the things that we say is that those kind of things are only appealing to a nigga who is not self-actualized on his own. So a guy who has reached the pinnacle of success in a particular career, major league sports, right? professional basketball player for X amount of years, accomplished however much success there in terms of financial achievements as well as, whatever accolades. Fooled around, you got a head coaching position where you was assistant coach for however long. You got a head coaching position and you took the Boston Celtics to the finals. You're over 6 feet tall, 6'7" you chipped up, and you would be someone that a woman would be proud to, walk in the door with, like power couple type of shit. Thing about it is that all of those accolades that we talked about in terms of what Nia Long has achieved, apparently they didn't mean shit to this guy right here, right? Because he was willing to throw all of that away for whatever was going on in his heart. And let's talk about that. I know that it's out of favor for us to require that a woman in a particular situation with a man have to stand on anything short of her just, being some fatal attraction chick that just comes in and destroys the man's life without his invitation, right? As long as the man was participating in whatever was going on, then we typically blame the man. And we look for all the various things that led to this man doing this dastardly deed, whatever it might have been. In this case, it's cheating on Nia Long. And when we say, okay, well, what about the woman? Then we go to the automatic assumption that there was power dynamics involved. He's the coach. She must have been someone who was lowly in the organization, who he was able to potentially affect her job stability, this, that, and the third. And I think that this kind of came out. Well, let's first assume, for purposes of argument, right, on a very theoretical and hypothetical basis, that all the reports that we've gotten are real, right? And that he was in a protracted relationship with a consensual relationship with a consenting adult woman who worked for the organization and happened to be married to a very high-ranking and powerful executive in the organization. Coaches are replaceable. We'll just say that. Coaches don't have very much, unless you're the general manager, you don't have no hiring, firing shit. But we'll just assume, right, that this was the scenario. And we'll assume that she's some staffer that is under him. What we're not taking into consideration is that her husband far outranks Ime Udoka in terms of the hierarchy of the Boston Celtics organization. And so now the power dynamics shift, but we don't want to acknowledge that, right? We do know that he's the only one that got thrown under the bus, right? His life, career, relationship, family was ruined, right? Not to throw him any bail and say that him having an affair on Nia Long or the executive was correct, or that he has any kind of justification, because like you get what you pay for. But at the same time, was there any real equity in the way that the rollout came? So it seemed to me that the rollout came as a pointed way of basically sunning him, spank your ass, and then leave you in limbo, right? You're not fired and you haven't quit. You're still part of the organization. We got you on ice for a year. You're taking a big cut in salary in order for us to keep you on ice. And then at the end of the year, we'll go back and we'll revisit what we want to do with you. Also, it's been blasted all over social media, regular media, every sports page, sports channel, this whole thing, embarrassing Nia Long, the sisterhood, shit. They called out the soldiers and drug his ass on social media, as perhaps they should have, but at the same time, when it came to time to asking the questions about, okay, well, who was the other person and what was the extent of the relationship? What did the investigation reveal? We didn't get any of that information. All we got, sorry about that, you guys, it's flat. All we got was, all this different speculation, rumor, innuendo, and the like. So what it would say to me, if I was taking all the rumors as being true, is that the power dynamic actually was shifted.